We are very close to completing the advanced farming grant, which is good because I want money. I want a lot of money because I want to rebuild this prison. I've decided that that is going to be my goal. I'm going to rebuild this thing into something that is bigger, better, and just more efficient than what we have right now. And what I mean by that is I want a giant yard with enough room for everybody. I want a massive workshop where we can bring in so many prisoners and get them working on superior beds, on whatever it is they do, all right? I want a common room here, there, and everywhere. I want a bunch of security rooms with door control systems for every little sector. So what I need to do, long story short, is I need to go to bureaucracy and start looking at land expansion, because I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to expand up this way and out this way and try to get the space to build this thing in such a way that I can gradually move the prisoners over and slowly demolish this thing and then fill in this space with whatever else we need. I also need to turn my room fan on because it's very, very warm in here and I'm not enjoying it. It's currently, apparently, it's actually only 22 degrees Celsius in my office. It feels a lot warmer. Although, to be fair, there's been a heat wave in the UK and Europe recently. It's been kind of brutal. And you get everyone that's like, well, you know, I live somewhere that it's warmer. Yeah, I bet you've got air conditioning and I bet you're used to it. I live in a country that's used to nothing but rain about 99% of the year. So we get temperatures at like 31, 32 and we start to break down, you know, like we've been dipped in acid. We start to melt. That's the that's the Irish way. That's the British way. That's just how it is. That's just how it is here. Anyway, I think my plan is a solid one. And essentially, like I said, what I want to do is I want to get a big yard with room for everybody. I want to get a big workshop to get everybody to work. I just want a lot of things. And I want more guards. And I also want to try and make money with this prison because we're not. The only way I'm making money right now is tearing down all of these trees and exporting them. So that's why I want to get this grant done. But what I'm also thinking is we could go into extras, we could go to mutators, and if we were to go and say that we had short sentences, we would cycle prisoners in and out of the prison much, much faster. So we would have, you know, prisoner intake fees or prisoner intake bonuses, I suppose, much more regularly. But then we have the issue of, well, are they going to be in prison long enough to get reformed? Are they going to be in prison long enough to learn to work in a workshop? So it might not be such a great idea. I don't know. It's something I'm considering doing, though, and I'd be curious to hear your feedback on it. So let me know in the comments below if you reckon we should turn that mutator on and start bringing in some prisoners who will be here for a shorter time, thus giving us that little bonus to prisoner intake on the regular. Like I said, answers in the comments below, please, if you get a second. Now, it is looking like most of my workers are getting close to being done with the task that I gave them. I did actually go ahead, by the way, and hire 10 more workers. We're now at 40 of those, which I think is okay. I think 40 workers is more than enough for what I have in mind. And let's also have a look and see how we're doing here. Still 5 hours to go on land expansion. So I suppose while we wait, let's take a look at the needs of the prisoners and see where they are. It does seem like everything is better, which is good. There's actually a really good number of them actively sleeping. There are some that are not happy about it. 13 specifically cannot meet that need. But the danger level in the prison overall is lower than it's been in a little while. So that's good. Now, it is interesting that the hygiene situation is getting quite bad. There's a few of them that are not very happy about that. But again, we should see, you know, at whatever time it happens to be, it's going to be 6 a.m. We're going to get free time so they can kind of go and do whatever they want. I'm wondering if they'll shower at 6 a.m. or if they're just going to riot. They're just going to riot. They woke up and immediately killed a guy. They woke up and immediately killed a guard. So, good start to the day. That's what that is. Really, really great start to the day right there. One of them woke up and absolutely decimated his sink, which is good. This guy, I don't know what he's complaining about. Someone over here has a knife. You know, I'm almost thinking that, I'm almost thinking that free time, the first thing in the morning, is actually not, oh my God. I'm thinking it's not such a good idea all of a sudden. I've got to be, I've got to be honest. I'm starting to think free time's a problem. I really am. Because I noticed the danger level just immediately shoots up the second these guys wake up. So, let's, you know what? Swap that around. Let's give them free time at 8 o'clock. We'll go to deployment, I guess. Make that a 2. Make that a 5. And, sure. They get a bit of free time before they get to eat. That should be all right. I did actually see, by the way, some comments and some posts on Reddit and on the forums for this game that what you can actually do, and I don't know if this is true, I haven't tested it, but apparently what you can do is you can set sleep time from like 11 and 12 and then just have free time for the rest of the night. And if they're tired, they will sleep. If they're not tired, they will just go and meet their needs. I'm tempted to give that a shot as well, but I think my priority, well, my priority actually is going to be clearing out more of these trees. My priority, I think, is trying to get them to, you know, just not murder. Oh my God. I had to say the M word. Get them to not, you know, have disagreements with each other, is how we'll opt to phrase that moving forwards. Who did they kill? Who's dead now? That's another bloody guard. We've had like 4 of them die today. That's great. We'll get 3 more. Looked like there was about to be a 5th. There might have been a 5th. Who's dead now? Oh, they killed a cat! What? Oh, now we're getting into dangerous territory, boys. I'm not gonna lie. I've just got done playing Stray. Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna stand for that. Now, while that's going on, and while everyone, you know, is murdering each other, I do want to start looking into tax relief to make a little bit more money, because then I want to get into the recycling incentive. I also want to get my hands on a CCTV improvement, even if we're not using it right now. And I want to get guard towers, because I'm gonna want guard towers in my new giant yard that I have in mind. So we'll let all of that get researched. It's obviously a chunk of change to do that. But I think we'll manage. We have 7. Why do we have 7 deaths? What? They starved to death? Oh God, my guards are getting weird again. I don't know what's up with this prison, man. I'm really hoping my idea to, does this game have the option to sell your prison and start again? I think it does, right? Yeah, sell prison. So we have to have no recent deaths. Oh, yeah, that would be an option as well, I suppose. Sell the prison and start again. I guess if my grand plan fails, we'll do that, because I do want to try. And by that, I mean, I don't know if I'll sell the prison or if I will just maybe start a new save. Because I'm not 100% convinced. I've said this before. I'm not 100% convinced that like the hostility in my prison is not caused by some kind of bug. Because I did start this save in a pre-release version of Prison Architect Gangs. So I don't know, man. There might be some nonsense going on. And we've just got done with a narcotics search straight into a shakedown. Let me tell you what we're going to do here. Let me go and get another couple of dog handlers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 1 more. And that'll give us a little bit of a faster narcotics search, because the cats have to go around and search everything for narcotics. So that'll be okay. We do have $100,000 sitting around though. So let's buy some land, I guess. How much is this going to be? That's $80,000. That's a big chunk of land though. Good Lord. That is a huge chunk of land. So is that one. Okay, what about over here? That might not be a bad idea either. Just move them across the road. It could work. It could definitely work. But I think I'm debating up there or back there. I'm going to go back there. I'm going to buy that chunk of land back there for $80,000. And yeah, that gives me a massive amount of space to play with to plan what I want to do. So let me go into objects. Let me go into dismantle. And I am going to get rid of all the trees back here because they haven't started growing like crazy yet. So I feel like this is fair game, right? This is a little less cheesy than using the mutator to get all that money. So that'll clear those out. I think I got all of them. And I also want to go in and demolish all of these walls because I just don't need nor do I want them. So those are all going away. And in terms of flooring, it looks like there might be some in there. So sell all of that flooring. Oh, I actually get some money for that. Ooh, okay. Well, that's kind of nice. Can I just... Wait, what is this? Wait a minute. Is that costing me money? I think that might... Hold on a minute. Is that costing me money? I actually have no idea. I don't... So 7,800 and whatever. Oh my god, I can sell the grass that's just generated on the map and get money? That means I could technically... Can I sell, like, the sand and do that? No. Okay, I don't... I don't know about that. That seems a bit weird, but sure. We'll go with that. We'll also go ahead and just prioritize all of that to clear it out, get my guards back there, get my workers back there, and just, you know, give me a nice canvas with which I can build a perfect prison. Uh-oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Power surge caused the generator to overload and catch fire. I can see that. I can certainly see that. Now, fortunately, it's only half the prison that's without power, so it's not the end of the world, but it is certainly almost the end of the world. Gentlemen, I could use you over here, and I could use you guys down here if you wouldn't mind. You know, just hurrying up with that would be great. You know, stopping my my generator from being on fire, which it looks like they actually successfully did. So we'll go ahead and dismiss both of them. This thing is being repaired. That needs to be a priority. And I guess what we need to do very, very quickly is get a brick wall back there, a brick wall back there, and some concrete, and some concrete. And the floor in there, let's go with Sulaco. I don't know how to pronounce so we'll just go for this. And also back to walls and brick. And prioritize, please. Also looked like a prisoner tried to make a break for it, so we really do need to prioritize this. Why did we just go from 0 to 5 deaths? Hello? All right, you know what? Hold on a minute. You know what we're doing? We are, everybody, go back to your cells. Every single one of you. Oh my God. How? How is this prison so bad? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get it, man. I genuinely don't understand how this prison is this bad. I really, really don't. How have we got 11 deaths? I hate this. I hate this. Like, don't get me wrong, right? I've never sat on this channel and been like, I'm really good at video games. I've never done that. That's never been my thing. There's been a very select number of times that I have sat and gone like, here is a set of tips for how to do this or how to do that. And those things are usually based to a degree in objectivity, right? Why have we got 13 deaths? Why are you in there? You know what? I just let them. Let them. Wait, what? Oh, he's legendary. That'll do it. Okay. All right. Enable free fire for a second. And I'm gonna do this. Just, gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind. Please, please. There we go. That's a bit more like it, I think. All right. We'll go ahead and keep free fire on for a little bit, is I think what we're gonna do. And we're gonna just fight back against this. I also think 10 of my guards were killed, so let's go ahead and do that. And you know what? Give me 3 more armed guards. There we go. We're just going to put armed guards in the prison, and I'm just going to keep free fire on. That's just where I'm at. That's the point I've gotten to. Now, I would like to plan my prison. So let's get to that. So my thinking is we have a giant perimeter wall around this entire thing, and near that perimeter wall, I want to have like towers in the buildings and stuff, in the corners and stuff like that. So 1, 2, I think the towers are like that, right? So they need to be taking up sort of that space, or rather, that space. So go ahead and just clear out all of that planning and put objects here. So something like that for the tower. And then we'd probably do something like that in that corner. We'd probably have them along the walls as well. But then I want to go and do something like this. And I essentially want to have what is going to be effectively like a giant cell block. Now, if I do 88 by 22, that is 4 times as long as it is tall. So we could do something like that for sort of a giant cell block right at the top of the prison. And if I wanted to, I could go 44 or 88 by 44, or just do this again. So that'll be 88 by 22. That is now 88 by 43. So actually we need to go here. And that would also give us essentially a giant cell block, which I am tempted to do, because that's going to be enough space if we use dormitories to absolutely get a tremendous number of prisoners in there. Now, whether or not that's going to be controllable, I don't know. So I think what I will do is clear this out, and we will do 88 right here by 22. So like I said, 4 times as wide as it is long. We'll come down to the bottom. We'll do our towers in that corner and in that corner. And we want to go 1, 2 to here. We want to go the entire way across. So 88 across, which is there, and we'll go 22. So essentially we could do 2 cell blocks at either end, which I think is probably fair enough. Now, what I'm thinking for this entire thing is that the way into this space is going to be controlled. If all of this is gone, we are going to have a giant, and I do mean giant, pathway that leads to this space. And I think that'll be pretty secure. It's going to be the only way in and out. We'll have, storage will be down here by the road. The prison is way back here behind the road, surrounded by perimeter walls. So then my thinking on this is we have a giant cell block. So why don't we go to the corners of this and say, 20 by maybe 14, and we'll do 20 by 14 here as well. Or maybe just 14 by 14. Well, we'll do 20. And that can be 2 sets of showers. And that's probably fair enough. That's probably more than enough for all of that. Then I want to go to this corner. So actually, we'll do that down here as well. In fact, we will build one and then just mirror it. So 2 showers, one at either end. I then want to get a, let's say, a 10 by 10 space here and a 10 by 10 space here. And that could just be 2 common rooms. They're not exactly the largest, but 2 common rooms there seems fine by me. We could then go and do something like, let's say 6 by 14 for perhaps a security room. And then we'll do the same here. So 14 and 6, and maybe that could be a, not a laundry, but a cleaning cupboard. And then, of course, we're going to have this middle space, which is going to be set back a little bit. And this is just going to be like an entranceway sort of thing. Maybe we'll cut this down a little bit and we'll say, I don't know, 9 by... I don't know, do 9 by 9 and 9 by 9, and that gives us this little space in the middle. It is, quite wide, so what about something like that for the entranceway? These rooms can all just be things. And it's weirdly, the building is a bit weird looking, right? We have this kind of, these bits sticking out and all that. I think if we really wanted to, we could maybe add a little bit of style like this, and a little bit of style kind of like this as well. And that just gives it a bit of flair at the front. It's not going to have that same flair around the back, but at the front, it just looks a bit different. we'll have some doors here and some doors here. And then for all of these, we'll just do the doors kind of mirrored. So something a bit like that we'll do here as well. Although the showers should probably have doors down by the bottom end as well. So something like that, I think, is probably fine for a cell block. It's going to be nothing too crazy, but it's going to have showers, common rooms, security, maybe a cleaning cupboard. I don't know what these two spaces are going to be, but I think that's fine. And honestly, I'm not even going to bother with the planning down here because I might just build this. This wouldn't be too expensive to build, although, well, I don't know if 41,000 is going to be enough to do it either. Now, what I'd like to do with this space here on the left is essentially turn this into a services or admin space. 16 deaths, by the way. That's fantastic. And what I mean by that is this is where we're going to have maybe some offices or at the very least utilities. So we might have a morgue in here. We'll have, you know, our power in here. We'll have our water in here. Maybe we build sort of a workers space down this way, or at least on the way to this, so our admin staff are not in the midst of the prison. Might not be a bad idea. I don't know if it's the best idea, but it's, at the very least, a bit of an idea. So I think what I'll do here, because these are going to be fences. This is still a perimeter wall, but this is just a regular fence. What we'll do is go into planning, go to walls, and essentially 1, 2 right here. Let's do a 16 by... Let's just do 16 by 10 right there. And we'll do the same on the other side as well. So we'll do a lovely little 16 by 10. And those can be for, you know, power and water. We don't need 2 water systems. So maybe... Actually, what size is the water thing? Is it... so power is 3 across. Water is presumably the same. Yeah, 3. Okay, so it's not going to fit in here perfectly. But what we could do, since this line represents the middle, is if I come back here and I do a little 7 by 7 and a little, I don't know, 7 by 7 right there. We could probably put 2 water pumps in here. I don't think that's necessarily going to hurt. I think that'll be okay. And then in terms of things like a morgue or whatever, I mean, maybe we put that by like a doctor's thing somewhere. Maybe a doctor can kind of go down here, or, well, maybe the doctor's thing could go right in the middle. I did say my idea is this is all going to be one big open yard. And I also haven't figured out where exactly canteens are going to go. Although I was sort of thinking like here for things like that would be potentially a bit of an idea. So it's a new day and there are 2 deaths already. I think most of those are with armed guards and shotguns, which honestly is to be expected. So that's kind of fine. We do have free... They've been awake for like 2 hours and 4 people are dead. You know, I'm just going to leave free fire on. It's 5 deaths. That's impressive. You know, I'm going to actually turn free fire off. It might not be a bad idea just to try and chill them out a little bit. Now, my thinking here is that these could be 2 canteens. And then I want these rooms here to be kitchens. Now, it is a bit of a distance, but I just figure keeping the kitchens in sort of the staff area is probably for the best. And then what I'd like to do is sort of come over here and go to... I want to sort of just lay this out as like a guideline and lay this out as a guideline as well. I want to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3... Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe a little bit further than that again. Let's say another 4. And on this side, we're going to just bring that back to, I want to say about there. And what I want to do with this is just make sure it's the same on both sides. That's 8 and 8, which it is. I want to do, let's see, take you guys out. So we have 2 right there and 2 there. And then I guess it's going to be those 2 go away and we do this. Because I want to put towers in these corners. So take you out and 1, 2. Oh boy, am I doing this right? I think I'm doing this right. That looks about right to me. Take those out and bring this across. And essentially, I want this space in the middle. I want some guard towers on all of these corners. And I want to have some secure doors here and here. And I might double this up, actually, because what I'm thinking is that this little space in here It could potentially be a building rather than a fenced-in area, so actually having these doors wouldn't be a terrible idea at all. And then what I might do is instead of a bunch of control rooms, is we just say that perhaps this is just one big space, but 2 separate rooms. So we have like an armory section, which could honestly, the armory could be a quarter of this if we really wanted it to. So if we do like that, I mean, what distance is this? That's 17. So 17 is gonna, 9 is the middle, so that's the middle right there. So we could have that be an armory. And I mean, for a door on that, I mean, it's already quite secure, but a door could be here. You kind of have to come in and around to get into the armory section. Maybe not big enough, but it'll be fine. And the rest of this could just be door control and security and all that kind of stuff. Right in the middle of the yard, but really kind of nicely secured. I think that'll be all right. And then pathways-wise, it's going to be, you know, something a bit like this that kind of surrounds the entire thing. I think that'd be all right. Obviously, we'll have pathways that kind of go around the entire yard as well, but that seems like a good place to put that right in the middle. We'll have guards patrolling it, doing their thing, and that'll be all right. Now we need to work out where things like workshops are going to go, where things like chapels are going to go, because there's a lot of stuff still to figure out, like gyms as well, and then obviously all of the staff stuff as well. Although I've got to be honest, in saying that, I'm not really leaving myself with much space for the actual giant yard that I've been talking about. So maybe things like the workshop and the chapel and all of that have to be built into sort of this space over here. So maybe what we do is we can chop out a big chunk of this wall, and we can sort of do the same on the other side eventually. But I think what we maybe do is, plain and simply, we build another chunk of prison. So this is 46 by 40. Let's just do a 40 by 40 chunk of the prison. Then down here, we sort of want to do the same thing. So 40 by, I don't know, 40 right here. And that doesn't seem right at all. Is my math way off? Wait, is my math way off? Hold on, what was this? This was 40 by 40, right? 40 by 40, yeah. And then from down here, it's 40 by 40. But it doesn't line up at all. Wait, what have I done here? Something doesn't seem right. What is the distance from here to the top? That is 83, and the distance from here to the bottom is 69. Ooh. My math is way off. That sucks. Oh, no. Oh, I'm slightly upset now. I might have to save up $120,000 to buy this chunk of land down here to make that right. And that's exactly what I did. Saved up $120,000 by chopping down a bunch of trees, bought this land, extended this new section of prison, and now we have the new 40 by 40 chunk here and a new 40 by 40 chunk here. So what we'll do is just go and outline this with some walls there. We'll take this bit out just so I know that that's supposed to be there. Outline this bit as well. And that gives us access to say that we have, you know, some workshops in here, which I think would be very exciting. This might actually have to be at some kind of large... Well, actually, you know what? I almost like the idea of having back-to-back towers there and sticking with this idea of surrounding this entire space in things like perimeter walls. So let's go and take out this bit. And let's go and take out this bit. There was also apparently a tunnel discovered somewhere. I think, yeah, these guys are trying to tunnel out into the yard. All right, well, good job there, guys. Really, really well done. These guys are actually making a proper break for it, which is kind of cool. But I think this will kind of work out. We'll give ourselves some more towers in those spaces. And what we'll do is essentially sort of the same idea. So we'll come over here. We'll do a little... I don't know, 31 by 15 building at the back. Maybe a little 31 by whatever size that is, 22. 31 by 22 seems pretty good. That's pretty chunky for a workshop, but that's probably what we're looking for. And then down at this end, we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, and this should be 31. It's 30. Have I measured this wrong? What distance is this? This is 40. Now, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. 30. That's fine. What distance is this end? Have I measured it wrong? I did. Okay, so it's supposed to be here. All right. So it was actually, I was all right. So 30 by 22 right here. And essentially we could say that one end of this is going to be a workshop. The other end of this can be something like a chapel or whatever, really. And we can just build onto that as well, because we still need something like a laundromat. So what if we go and we say that the laundromat, the laundry room can be here, and it can be 14 by 14. And we'll sort of do the same at the other side as well. There'll be a 14 by 14 space right here. So we'll have laundry at kind of both ends of the prison. We can have one of these be a cleaning cupboard of some sort in the 2 cell blocks when the other one's planned out. And that should keep us good on that front. The workshop can go in there. We can have like a chapel or something down there. We're still going to need stuff like a gym though. So what about another 14 by 14 space here? Is that possible? It absolutely is. And I actually kind of like this idea of having sort of a hallway that goes through there. So what if we were to... Well, what if we were to bring this back by 2 instead? So if I do this, and I do this, we have like a nice big open area. And we'll do the same over here. So another 14 by 14. So something like that. Do a wall here, do a wall there, chop those bits out, and that seems good. So basically, workshop, laundry, gym, and then down here, chapel, laundry, gym. That should keep them kind of happy. Then the fight club, we'll figure that out. Mailroom, library, and store, we can figure that out as well. I'm not really too worried about those. The only thing we're really missing at this point is something like solitary. So let's figure out where solitary is going to go, and then we are good to sort of start building this thing. Now, this might be a little bit grim, but I'm actually thinking solitary at the back of the workshop, and by extension, the chapel, might be the way to go. Definitely grim, but I'm also going to try something different with solitary. Each cell is going to be the same size as essentially a normal cell. It's just going to be isolated. Essentially, whoever's in solitary is going to be staying in solitary until they're let out. I don't know if that's going to be effective. I've got no idea if that's actually going to do anything for us, but I'm willing to give it a shot, and I'm curious to see how it goes. So let's get started on some construction. Let's get to work on these perimeter walls, which are going to be very expensive. This one stretch alone is $34,000. That's half of all the money I have right now. But to be fair, I'm pretty sure prisoners can't actually, water pipes can't be built underneath. I'm pretty sure prisoners also can't tunnel underneath these. So that's going to work out quite well for us. And what I'm also going to do is go to walls and flooring. And I'm going to sell all of this because it actually just, like I said earlier, gives me some money. So sell just every bit of flooring in these new areas. Get a little bit of money from it. And, you know, put it towards whatever I'm doing. We'll also go in and say, I didn't really get much for that flooring at all. We'll also go in and dismantle all of the trees down here because I don't really want those either. So those can all go away. And we can go in and say, I want to demolish all of these walls down here as well. So we'll get that going. And in time, we'll build this perimeter wall and obviously build it kind of around everything else as well. It is going to be, what is this? Hold on a minute. What are you doing? I don't know what this means. I think he's just joined a gang. I think that's what that maybe means. This guy has just joined a gang, which that might be it's kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do here in the prison, but sure. We just had a guy join a gang rather than leave it. Great. I'm so good at this. I think while all this construction's going on, what I'm also going to do is go into walls and go to regular fences, and I'm just going to build a regular fence that comes the entire way over to here so that no one can get out and escape that way. And I'm going to sort of do the same down here because we are starting to build this way. I'm going to bring this over and sort of down like this. And I guess to get, you know, through all of this, what we can do is just go to doors, and I'm just going to put a staff door right about, I guess, well, here. It's not the best place for it, but once all those walls are built, which is kind of going to be the priority right there, it's just building all of that and building all of this as well. Once all that's built, we can just have staff go through the prison to get into this space to do things, essentially. And it means that I can easier move prisoners in there if and when this actually gets built. Which, it's probably going to take a while. It's going to be a process for sure. But I feel good about this. I think the larger yard is going to separate everybody out. We could probably have 2 yards, technically. You know, a couple of nice big canteens in there. Plenty of cooks to provide for the canteens. Nice big workshop, and just space for everybody to go and do their thing. And even solitary confinement's not going to be completely miserable, so we have that going for us as well. And then I think what I'll do is eventually this will all be bulldozed, and I'll put some large fields out here with trees and crops and all that to provide for the prison. I'm gonna put my I suppose, what would you call it? Deliveries will still be down here. Storage will still be down here. Exports will still be down here. Visitation can probably be somewhere like in this space. That might be kind of interesting to put visitation kind of in here. But I do want to have a really big just path that leads up to the front of the prison. So I think what might end up happening is we have prisoners arrive. We have a reception space they come into. We have storage and stuff like that off to one side with exports and garbage. And then they come through. They're escorted up this giant path into their cell. Visitation can be down here. Visitation could be maybe down by reception. That might not be a bad idea. That might be the way to do it. So the prisoners have a bit of a distance to go to get down there. And we just have sniper towers and guards and stuff like that just absolutely everywhere. Might be a little bit over the top, but at this point, to be quite honest, I'm a bit tired of them murdering each other. So, speak of the devil, and he shall murder a prisoner. I want to make this work. I want to get them to stop murdering each other. So this is how we're gonna do it, or at least this is how we're gonna try. Now, one weird little thing that I'm gonna do with this entire space is I'm gonna try and pave literally the entire thing. I've got the perimeter walls in here, exactly where I need them, but I want to try and pave this entire thing so I can build it without dealing with the trees. And also clearing out all of these trees is going to help to essentially give me a bunch of money to then build this thing. So this kind of works nicely. Yes, I'm spending money, you know, placing all of these paving stones, but it's gonna be, I think, money well spent by the time it's done. It's going to take forever. I know it's going to take forever. That's why I've gone up to 75 workmen, because the process of doing what I'm about to do, if I was to pave this entire thing, it'd be about $175,000. In fact, I can tell you right now, if we look at the price of this, this was approximately $17,000. So what is that? $34,000 for those 2 spaces, plus a grand total of how much for the rest of it. We would be looking at, well, apparently more money than the game is going to let me spend ever, which is interesting. I actually don't, oh wait, that's why it's paving stones is what I'm looking for. So this entire space would then cost a grand total, if we go to there, of, let's see, approximately 157. So yeah, about $200,000 to pave this entire thing. And I want to do that. I absolutely do. I might regret it, but I want to give it a shot. I've got to be honest, the process of building this entire thing is taking considerably longer than I thought it would, but progress is definitely being made. I've gone ahead and actually laid out some concrete tiles here to make it a little bit faster for my workers to get in and out and to clear out some trees from that space. The concrete or the paving stones down here have been laid, so this area is not going to have trees to deal with. This part's being worked on, and the cell block is actually in the process of being built now, which is kind of exciting. I will say, I don't think we're going to get this entire thing done in this episode, but this, I have a good feeling about it. I absolutely do. I don't have a good feeling about the fact that we seem to be flooding this space, but I think that's just a side effect of the sprinklers, if anything. As for the prison itself, I mean, we have a prisoner in here that's starved to death, and I'm not actually sure how a prisoner has managed to starve to death. That's a bit of a weird one. What I am going to do, though, just very, very quickly, is come in here and sell these objects here and here to get some money. And I'm also thinking I should probably get my workers doing a little bit more than just exclusively building right now, because having them exclusively building is apparently causing issues for the rest of the prison. We have some trucks backed up like crazy right now, which actually have a lot of construction materials in them. So I'm almost wondering if, well, is it this that's the problem? No, I think it's the fact that this truck is waiting on some stuff being loaded onto it. We also have you guys trying to get out of here through a staff door, so we'll go ahead and let you, just let you all out of there. And that'll get me an early release bonus, which is lovely. We have a couple of hearses here for a couple of dead guards. I'm not laughing at that because it's funny. I'm laughing at that because, of course, we have a couple of dead guards sitting around. And I'm also going to go ahead and sell all of that for a bit of quick and easy money as well. Needless to say, this prison is continuing to be a complete and utter disaster. And I can't say I'm proud of it right now. I can't say I'm thrilled with where it's at. But I will say, at the very least, that, you know, the future is potentially bright. You know, we're going to have a giant yard. We're going to have a giant, you know, cell block there and a giant cell block down there. I don't know that this canteen's going to be big enough, actually. Either of them. They might not be, but we'll figure that out. Good old workshop and gym and all that stuff. So it's progress. Right? I reckon with these sniper towers and all that stuff, I reckon we're going to be all right. I reckon people are probably going to stop messing around a little bit, at least in the spaces between things like the canteen and the cell block. In those spaces, we'll just have armed guards everywhere. That's basically what I'm thinking we do. I'm also debating whether or not I should turn off the mutator for rapidly growing trees, because we have so many trees in this map right now. I don't think we need that mutator on. And it is slightly annoying having to clear them out. Building this cell block down here, for example, is going to take forever. So while all of this has been going on, it turns out that some of my guards might be a little bit crooked, which I completely forgot about. I forgot this was a thing at all. Now let's see here. Restrict access, deselect area. Interesting, I can transfer people around. That's kind of cool. Informants and boiling points. All that stuff, I've already known about that. But I absolutely forgot about things like crooked guards. So, I mean, I know you're crooked. So, I mean, do we want to search everything about the guard and see what's going on? I guess, are we pulling him aside and we're going to search him that way? Not really 100% sure. I guess we'll go ahead and follow him and see what he's up to. He's heading over here. He's heading into the staff room. No one's kind of pulled him aside yet, though. Let's give him another... I think he's just searching the room that he's in. I don't think that's actually what that means. Also, the escapes today, by the way, is because this wall collapsed, and I'm currently waiting on something being done about it. We also have you. You're apparently crooked as well. That's interesting. Now, I guess what we need to do is we are going to need to look in the staff section I'm not 100% sure where, I'll be honest. We have a couple of dead guards. We actually have a few crooked guards. You know what? Let's just fire the crooked ones. Because they're working with gangs, and that's kind of a problem. And then in terms of my staff overall, we need 6 more of them because they just keep getting murdered. So hopefully this little hole in the wall down here does get fixed. And hopefully prisoners will stop using it because the land collapsed, essentially. The land shifted a bit and the wall collapsed. So, you know, it's a bit of an issue. But it's something we can sort out, I'm sure. As for sorting things out, this is actually coming along very nicely. Got some paths in and around here. We got all of this nearly done. Actually, a lot of good work being done up here. Which, if we're honest with ourselves, it'd be surprising if there wasn't, given that there's 130 workmen right now. So, this should get done in no time, and then clearing out some trees and doing all that good stuff. Honestly, that'll probably also get done in near enough no time at all. And so now that the main cell block area is done, obviously I need to go in and put some more rooms in there. I need to build out the cells themselves. I need to get the showers in there. But I have gone ahead and told my workmen, to start working on all of the rooms down here in the utilities space. I've told them to start working on this staff space as well. And to be quite honest, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm also going to tell them to get to work on what will eventually be the 2 canteens here, because we do have 130 workers and they are completely capable of building all of this relatively quickly. So we'll, you know, order all of that built. We'll go into walls and doors, and to be honest, I'm just going to say that we'll have... Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to do regular... We're not going to do regular double doors on this. We do need to have a degree of control over the prison, so we'll give that a shot with the door down there. And we'll do the same with the nice secure door on this one as well. And then all of this is going to be a secure because it's a staff area, but this really should take no time at all to put together. And then the next thing I want to do is essentially cover the ground in grass, get rid of the trees. I might still pave a large chunk of this space because we do have a considerable amount of money, and we'll see where that goes, essentially. I do, at the very least, want to go around with concrete tiles, and I want to say that the entire sort of perimeter of this space is going to have concrete tiles rather than paving stones, because I think the concrete tiles look much better, so I think this will just look much better as a result. But we'll also go here, do a little something like that, and we'll go ahead and just bring this the entire way around this place, just a little something like this, all the way down here. We'll probably want to go around the towers at some point, but right now I'm not too concerned about that. Obviously, we don't have the towers, so it's not the end of the world. Then down here, same story. And the entire way across the top is going to be essentially the same story. So all the way over to there. And that seems fine. That'll work out nicely. We can eventually connect that all together. It'll help people get around a little bit quicker. And should be quite good for us. And then obviously we'll need some paths that go across the front of the buildings. And there's just a lot to do. There is still a tremendous, tremendous amount to do. So let's get the orders going to start dismantling a whole bunch of trees, because I do want all of these out of here. I'm going to try and push them right back from the walls as well. Going to be a lot of money from all of this, but let's remember that all of this money I'm getting is eventually going to be going into actually building a prison here. So it's not like I'm just going to be sitting on this money forever. It's going to go somewhere. Well, I'm feeling like all of it's going to go somewhere, I'll be honest. I feel like I'm just going to end up spending everything. And it's going to be, it's going to be something, is what it's going to be. It's going to be something. Okay, we have suddenly got a lot of buildings. There's a lot going on in here still. There's a lot of grass being put down. There's a lot of paths going in. But we have a lot of buildings, so I think what we're going to do is I'm going to take some time between this episode and the next one to go ahead and just lay out where the cells are going to go. I'm going to start putting some stuff into the different rooms around here to get some utilities in there. I'm not going to build the entire thing but I'm going to try and get a lot of the tedious nonsense out of the way, the really, intricate parts here and there. I'll obviously give you a summary of all that work in the next episode, but I think at the very least, I have my work cut out for me with whatever, just whatever is going to come of this thing, because it's going to be kind of nuts. It absolutely is going to be kind of nuts. The good news is my workers can come and go pretty easily. We have a ridiculous amount of money sitting around. I also don't know why something's leaking up here. I'm not really 100% sure about that. But let's see, is it? Oh, that's missing. Okay, there might have been an event that I missed where we seem to have had a burst pipe, but at the very least, my workers can get in and out of here nice and quickly. They can put all these paths in. They can put all of the grass down, and this is coming along. It's getting to where I want it to be. So let's get some of the details in. Let's get some power and some pipes in here, and let's see what exactly I can do to this thing, because there's still a tremendous amount of work to go, but I'm kind of excited about it because I think the prisoners are going to maybe appreciate it.